Shalom to you all, and welcome to Testimonies with Glory Elijah. Today is the day where I get to speak on my testimony, and I have invited my beautiful sister in Christ, Paulina Sol. Paulina, introduce yourself. Tell us who you are,
Thank you so
what you
much, my
do.
sister. Thank you so much. Shalom to you. It's so
Shalom.
good to see you in your city.
Good to see
I
you
traveled
too.
all the way to London just to be part of this, and I'm so excited. Just for people to hear your story today. So my name is Paulina Soul. I'm a director general in the ministry that we both attend. I deal with public relations, but on the outside, I'm a business owner. I'm a sister who got saved a couple of days back and is just trying to live her life for Christ, really. And that is me. So it's now time to share your story. Are you ready, Glory?
I am ready. I am so ready.
So today we'll be speaking about life preservation and divine intervention, which turned out to be for a greater purpose. Who were you before you encountered the Lord?
I was a person that didn't care about anything but going out, traveling the world, making money. I
Those were your
think
priorities at the
those were
time.
my priorities in the time. I didn't care about God. I always thought, well, Lord, I'm too young.
Mm-hmm.
Let me live my life. And one day when I'm really old, I'll come and serve you. But I took the longer round
Mm-hmm.
where the Lord makes a path for us and we must walk in that path. But when you delay yourself to take the longer route, which is harder and more difficult to get to the place you need to be.
And if we are in it, we often don't realize that we're in the longer route.
Yes.
It's only afterwards when we realize, oh, if I would have done this, if I obeyed the Lord,
Yeah.
my route would have been shorter
Easier.
and I would have exceeded so much faster. But I think we can all testify of making so many mistakes in the Lord before we came to Christ. So
Yes.
I completely understand. So that was you focusing on the world and
Yeah.
enjoying the world, the
Yes.
money, the
Yes.
clubbing, the socials.
Yes.
How did your life progress from there? What happened? What was the next significant thing that then later on led to your testimony?
So I lived in the UK, and after 11 long years, I decided to take a long holiday to Bulgaria.
Okay.
And I was thinking I'll go to sunny beach, I'll go have fun, I'll go to clubs and meet new people. And I traveled to Bulgaria, and on the second day, I was walking past and I looked left and there's this footballer with his mouth dropped down on the floor.
Oh, he was enjoying what he was seeing.
Probably.
Of course, look at you. Uh-huh.
I looked at him and I recognized him from my childhood. He was a second generation footballer. His father was a very famous footballer back home in Bulgaria. And at the time that I met him, he was a popular footballer also. We met. At that time, he told his best friend, you see her? She's going to be my wife.
Oh.
He said, that's it. I'm going to marry her. He approached me. We started speaking. We went out. And within 3 days, he said, I want to marry you.
Whoa, 3
And
days.
yes, 3 days. I thought to myself, okay, this is too fast. I need to go back to the UK. I have a good job in the UK. I need to go back. We can do a long distance relationship,
Yes.
and if it works out, we can get married. He said, no, 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 no. Long distance is not going to work for us. We're probably going to break up. So look, men know who their wives are from day one, and I know
That's
that you
true.
are my wife. And I was 20 years old. I was so naive, and actually believed him that, he's a kind person, he's successful, he's exactly what I looked for. And I always wanted to marry a footballer. And that was my dream
And it
at that
seemed like
time.
it was coming to
It
pass.
was like, oh, because at that time, everything I wanted, I had. Everything I spoke, I had. This is why we have to be very careful what we speak. Because especially spiritual people, when they speak, it's like a prophecy. It comes
That's
to
right.
pass. So you have to be very careful what you ask for. Because if you ask for it, it will come knocking to you. And will you be ready to open the door and let that in? So sometimes you invite people that are not for you by calling them. Once you call something, it comes knocking. So we have to be very careful.
And you need
And when I
discernment.
called him, because I remember 2 years before, I had like a vision of this same person while I was working, that I was in his house and I was on the floor and he was right opposite me shaving in the bathroom. And he was my husband. And he was like, can you please go get me the razor? And he was hugging me and he was loving on me. And one moment I woke up and thought to myself, what is this? That was a vision that I had at that time. And it was, I always thought, what was this vision? But when I saw my husband and when I met him and when we went out and when he said, we need to get married, I thought, oh, that is from the Lord.
You assumed that the vision that you had
Yes.
was from God.
And it was not from God.
It was not from the
Because
Lord.
obviously he was the wrong person for me. A relationship in God is never hurried. You need to take your time. And when you hurry a relationship, it always ends up in a mess.
So when did the marriage, when was the marriage established? At which point? What happened next?
So basically,
So you got married after how long?
after 1 week, we got married.
1 week.
Yes.
Okay.
When I say after 1 week, my parents, my sisters had to fly from the UK. Our whole family traveled from worldwide, and we got married. And on the third day, I decided he was out. I decided that I need to go and see my sisters before they fly back to the UK. And it was 40 degrees. It was really hot. I put a short sleeve on. And I went to see my sisters. And, after me coming back, he was at home waiting for me. And he got so angry at me. Why I left the house without his mother, why I left the house without him, why I left the house alone, and that I cannot be his wife and leave the house alone.
Oh, he had an issue that you left the
The
house
house
without his
alone.
permission
Yes.
and without him.
Yes. And why I left the house with short sleeves. And at that moment, he pushes me to the bed, turns me in the back, and rips my top off.
That sounds like a scene from a movie.
Well, that's what happened. And he ripped it from the back. And he said, next time you decide to wear a short sleeve, that's what is going to happen. From today, I decide how you're going to dress. The way you were dressing before, that is not going to happen. Unless you're with me and I ask you to dress that way, that's how you're going to dress. But you will not dress what you want to put on. I decide what you're going to be putting on from today on.
Did that time the alarms went off or not yet at that point?
At that moment, I was in complete shock. I was like, what is just happening? What happened? He's a kind person. He was never jealous. He never told me what to wear before. He used to like those tops on me. What's going on? I mean, it's just day 3 and he's not allowing me to go out alone. How am I gonna be going out? With security? With him? With his mom? Every time I have to be with somebody. And what is he gonna be making me wear from now on? It was alarms all over the place, but I was thinking to myself, it's only day 3. Let's see what's going on. Don't panic yet. And
Hold on, so that was only day 3 of
that
marriage.
was only day 3 of marriage. That was such a big alarm. If this happens to me today, I would have taken my clothes
You
and
would
tell him
know what to do.
goodbye.
Yes.
But I was only 20 years old. And for me at that time is when you get married, it's for life. No matter what happens, you need to live with that person until the end. As we took our vows. Till death do us part.
That's right.
That's what I thought to myself. That's what my parents taught me.
So that was your first encounter where you noticed that there is tendencies to violence.
Yes.
Was there any more encounters after that?
Yes. The next encounter was us going to a football event with the footballers and their wives, where he asked me to get ready and put makeup on, get dressed beautifully, do my hair. He was so proud to take me out there because I was the British Bulgarian in Bulgaria.
Sure, he was
Looked
good
very
for his
different
image,
from
for
everybody
sure.
else. Yes, I looked very different from everybody else. I was a typical footballer's wife, always fashionable,
That's right.
always looking
Yes.
smart, beautiful, and perfect for him. So what he wanted me to be is a footballer's wife. So I was exactly that. And I remember getting ready, and he wanted me to match him. At that time, I was only 20. I didn't want to match him. So he got really angry with me.
Oof.
He got so
Okay.
angry with me and he said, when I tell you in this kind of events what you need to look like, you need to look like that. So you better put that dress or we're not going anywhere. And I didn't want to argue, so I just put what he wanted me to put on. And at that time, we came out, everything was beautiful. Oh, I felt so special out there. It was perfect. All eyes were on us. And he was so happy and he was hugging me and he was kissing me. He was showing off. And end of the night, we came home. And when we came home, he just opened the door and pushed me on the floor.
He changed
Completely. He was like, why did you speak to that woman? Why did you speak to that man? Why did you speak to this person? And I said, but I didn't. I just greet them. You asked me to greet them. No. Why did you speak to them in that way? Didn't I tell you not to speak to men? Didn't I tell you not to speak to women? Didn't I tell you that you need to stand behind me? Didn't I tell you that I'm the one to speak on your behalf? And I was in complete shock. I was like, what's going on? And he was so aggressive towards me. So there was time that he will take the Hoover metal,
the metal part of the
the
Hoover.
Henry Hoover,
Yes.
and he
Henry
will
Hoover.
beat me so severely that I was on the floor, passed out for hours. And I will wake up with him throwing water to me
Just
to
to
wake
wake
me
you up.
up. Yes. I was covered in bruises. My eardrum was burst. My arm was broken. I had a cast for a year. And each time anybody will ask me, what happened to you? Oh, I fall down the stairs. Oh, I did this, I did that. I will always make excuses where people were like, okay, now she's lying. She's now lying. She's in danger.
Did anyone notice at all what was happening in your life at that point?
Well, my family were in the UK, so they didn't notice
Because you were far
any
away
of that.
from
They
them,
were not
yes.
present in that. So in the end, I decided to leave him and I to go back to the UK, and he came with me without me wanting him to, but he came with me. So I thought to myself, in the UK maybe we'll have a better life. And when we came to the UK, he continued getting drunk and abusing me in a way where he will beat me up so severely that, as I said to you, I'll pass out, I'll have a black eye, I was covered in bruises, my arm was in a cast for a year. And it was on and on and on until the day where I couldn't take it anymore.
What was happening to you internally when you were trying to survive? Because you were escaping death on a daily basis, basically, because you could have probably died many times from his hands. What was happening inside of you? What was going through your head at the time?
He
Did you
broke my
feel
spirit. He completely broke my spirit. I was very confident before I married him. Very confident, very strong, very powerful. But he broke my spirit. I was constantly in fear, constantly depressed, constantly. I couldn't even sit down and have a conversation with anyone. I didn't know how to anymore. I was constantly in fear that if I speak to somebody, he'll show up from somewhere here and then abuse me at night. And it was just enough. And it's enough. I said to myself, I can't live like this. So we split for a bit. And then I found out I was pregnant with my son, my firstborn. Um, and that is the time I thought to myself, enough is enough. If he's going to do this while I'm pregnant, I could lose the baby. I spoke to him and I said, listen, you either going to change or we will have to split because now I'm pregnant. He said, oh no, I'm never going to drink again. I'm never going to hit you again. And he didn't. For 9 months, he didn't touch me. He was the best husband ever. You cannot imagine. He was the best. He wouldn't touch me in any way that will hurt me. He was taking care of me. He was working for us. He was providing for us. We were so happy until I gave birth to my son. And then 3 months down the line, he started drinking again. And when he was drinking again, one day he will be violent. But there was one special day where I said, enough is enough. And I called my sister and I was crying hysterically, saying, I can't take this. I am living constantly in fear. I'm actually scared that he will do something to the baby.
this was the first time when you actually build up the courage to tell someone
Yes.
and to
No, my
take
sister
action?
knew. My sister
Oh, your
knew,
sister
but
knew.
she couldn't take the choice for me where I was split.
That's
She
right.
was letting me decide whether, because in Eastern Europe, people then don't get involved in your family.
Yes.
Even if you get, you are involved in domestic violence,
That's
people
right.
can advise you, but they cannot tell you get divorced. So what she did was tell me, you need to take action. Either he changes or you divorce him and you move on with your life with the baby. And one day, I remember because I spoke to my sister and he was so upset that I spoke to her without him being present, and he heard that I spoke to her. He beat me so badly that I was bleeding everywhere. And I had the baby in my arms. And when I had the baby in my arms, I remember looking at the baby down if he's okay. And my blood was everywhere, but I didn't know that that was my blood, and I thought that's the baby's blood. And I started panicking and screaming and saying, stop it, stop it, stop it. He's bleeding, he's bleeding, he's bleeding. And then I just looked at my baby, and it wasn't his blood, it was my blood. And I remember thinking to myself, what kind of mother are you? Are you going to allow him to do this to you, where your blood will cover your baby? If you continue living with this person, either he's going to hurt the baby or you, or either one of you will die, or your child will grow up with domestic violence, and one day he will maybe do the same to his wife. Right. How are you going to explain to his wife that it is your fault? And I said, oh no, I need to put an end to this. So that is the moment I called my sister again and said, look, he's at work. You need to help me. You need to get me out of here.
So that was your breaking point.
This was my breaking point.
And what happened next?
She said to me, you know what? I'm going to help you. And she was living on the 3rd floor and I was living on the 4th floor. So every time
you were
he
living
would
in the
beat
same
me,
house?
yes,
or on different
no
floor?
Building. It was an apartment building. And every time he would beat me, she would hear from downstairs. And this is my older sister. And her husband, every time she will stop him, and because her husband wanted to come and kill him, but she will stop him. Wow. Say, no, don't get involved. Don't get involved. And one day, she passes me a Bible. And I said to her, I've tried reading the Bible. I don't understand nothing from this book. For me, it's just an empty book. She said, yeah, you need the Holy Spirit. I said, what is that? She said, you need the Holy Spirit. I cannot tell you what is that unless you feel it. And she gives me these 2 songs. And she says, you know what? Go on YouTube and write Elijah Panoff. Release your spirit.
Просто затвори очи и ще помоля дори да забравиш за конференцията, да се фокусираш към него. Забрави за проблемите си. Забрави за тежката ти ситуация, през която може би преминаваш. Силата на хвалата е способна да те изкара от това състояние и да трансформира живота ти. Няма да проповядам, знаеш какво се случи с Павел в затвора. Издигнете ръце и се покланяйте пред Господа.
And I remember waiting for my husband the next day to go to work, and the baby woke up, and I went into my living room, and I remember putting that song on, Release Your Spirit, and I started listening to it, and it was just boom. I just felt the Holy Spirit in me so strong that it was fire. It was me coming out of my body, him coming into my body. It was so strong. I just remember falling on the floor and just screaming, crying hysterically and saying, Father, Father, have you abandoned me? Do not abandon me.
Wow, what an encounter with the Lord. Where you physically felt his presence.
I
For
felt
the
his
first time.
presence.
Was that your first time when you felt
That
his
was the first
presence?
time in my life. I've always been going to a church with my sister. She always used to take me to baptisms, to church. But I never, ever felt the Holy Spirit. I never felt God. I didn't know who he is. I didn't know who Christ was. I called myself by Christ's name, but I never knew of him. I didn't know who he is. I was always just empty, completely empty. I was an empty vessel.
What happened after your encounter? You felt his presence, you felt your knees. All the pain has been released. You cried out to the
I
Lord,
cried
have
out
you
to him and I
abandoned
said to
me?
him, I don't feel you. I don't know you. Don't you love me? Don't you want me? Why have you forsaken me? Why have you left me? Am I not your daughter? And then I just hear the voice, I will always love you. I'm always there for you. It's just I cannot enter you if you don't let me to. You need to open up. You need to let me empty you out completely so I can fill you with myself. And that is the time I said, empty me out. I belong to you. Please empty me out and fill me with yourself and get me out of here. Save my baby, save myself, save me. I don't want to live in this life anymore. If you don't, I don't know if I will live any longer. And I remember him, I feeling this fire and just falling on the floor and shivering, shaking for I don't know how long on the floor and crying and crying. And then the following week, my sister invites us to her baby's party because her son was 4 months later born after mine. And we went to the party, baby's party, and I remember us sitting down and him drinking, me thinking, God, please don't let him get drunk. And my sister's friend came and she looked at me and said, oh, you are the baby sister of Maria. Oh, nice to meet you. This is the first time we see you. Oh my God, it's so nice to meet you. And I just smiled gently and say, hi, nice to meet you, and put my head down immediately because I knew that
Because you already knew what's coming if you would interact more.
yes, because I did that, he got drunk. So that was the time I said to myself, okay, pick him up, let's go home because he's gonna ruin the party. So that's when we got in the car and I drove us home. But while I was driving us home, he was hitting me, shouting at me, screaming at me. I couldn't even drive. I parked the car outside that building in my parking space.
Where was the baby at the time?
He was with my mother-in-law. She was visiting us at that time. So we left the baby with my mother-in-law.
Okay, so just
And
you
it
and
was
him
just
in the
me and
car.
him. And I remember him getting off the passenger seat and coming to the driver's side.
Whilst you were driving?
No, I was parked.
You were already parked up?
I was already parked up.
So he's getting to you.
He's coming to my side and starts screaming and starts punching on the window. And he smashed
So he
the
came
window.
out of the car,
Yes.
came to the driver's side where you were
Yes.
sat and started punching the window.
Yes, and on the second punch, he smashed the window. And I remember his blood being everywhere. He was bleeding. And the window was in pieces. It was shattered all over me. My face, my hair, my private parts. Anywhere you can think of, there was glass. Miraculously, I was untouched. Not even a scar. The Lord preserved me. When he was bleeding everywhere. And that was the time I said, okay, that's it. Enough is enough.
The Lord has put a hedge of protection around you in that moment.
Indeed. Indeed, he has. And thinking back in my life, he always has preserved me. We went upstairs and I was like so angry. That was the time that I felt anger, not fear.
Yes.
That was the time I just thought to myself, I'm going to destroy you. I was angry. I hated him at that time. I felt hate. I felt anger. I was like, that's it. No more. I go into the bathroom. I call my parents and say, he's done this, he's done that. My father comes with my uncle. And when my father comes with my uncle, he says, get your stuff, you're going. That's it. Enough is enough. We're going to buy you the ticket. You need to leave now, immediately. And he started fighting my father. And when he started fighting my father, I fell on the ground. And I was deaf. I had an anxiety attack. I had fear from everywhere, darkness. I felt like I was in a hole. All over the sudden, I hear, "Get up. Enough is enough." And I call the police.
Hold on. So you heard the voice?
Get up. Enough is enough.
Did you know it was the Lord at the time,
No.
or you didn't know?
I didn't recognize the Lord speaking to me because He has been speaking to me since I was a very young child, where I used to have prophetic dreams and visions, but I never understood
You
them.
never understood.
I never understood them. I just thought I was a strange child, a
Yes.
weird child, where I knew things before they will happen. I will see people with their evil or good, but with my husband, I misjudged him. Because it was just looks. I looked at the looks at the outside.
Yes.
I looked at the profession, but I never looked at the inside.
Mm,
When
I
now
hear
that
you.
I'm with the Lord, I can see that. So I heard, "Enough is enough, get up." I pick up my phone and I call the police. And I tell the police what's happening. A whole car of police arrived immediately. 2 to 3 minutes later, they arrived and came into my apartment. And they pinned him down to the floor. His mother started crying, screaming. I said, "No, enough is enough. That's it. I'm finished." So that was the time that police arrest him, and
Okay.
they asked me, "Do you want us to send him back to Bulgaria?" And I said, "Yes, I'm getting divorced." And they send him back to Bulgaria. And that was the time he turned around before he left and said, "You will become nobody. You will lose everything. You will not survive. You're going to come begging me." And I said, "Yeah, let's see. I'd rather die than go back to you." And afterwards, I did lose everything.
So the voice of the enemy was trying to steal your destiny
Yes.
by
But the,
speaking against it.
yes. But the Lord, all the debts I was covered in within 3 months, the exact amount was in my bank account without me asking for money from my father. And I paid all my debts off. I got to keep my beautiful apartment, which was a penthouse apartment. I got to keep my car. I got to provide for my son. I got a job that was beyond my experience, which I was a manager of a company that managed 4 to 5-star hotels in London. And I was the manager with that experience.
So the Lord has never forsaken you. He
Never.
actually turned around the whole thing.
I succeeded.
But let me ask you something. What do you think would have happened if you didn't obey that voice at the time?
I wouldn't be alive today.
So now your husband has left. He got deported back to Bulgaria. He got arrested for domestic abuse. You starting your new life. Lord has provided to you, got you out of debt. You're beginning to kind of stabilize. Now, I can only imagine that you absolutely given up probably on the relationships in life and you were probably scared to even look at men. That's my assumption. Am I right to think that? That at the time you didn't even want to start anything else?
For 10 years, I didn't want nobody. When I said nobody, if I see a man I will fear, I will go quiet. And even though I was so confident with my job title, I would go into a room and I'll be a manager of men or women, and I'll be a good manager. But when a man approached me, I'll put my face down and fear. And until recently, I was like that.
So what actually happened for you to change? At that point in life, was there anyone that you met that kind of changed that for you?
No, the Lord changed that for me. The Lord changed me completely, but it took me a while. 10 years later, I meet a client, and that client becomes my husband.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. A few months down the line, we decide to get married, but obviously I was thinking to myself, okay, I don't want to get divorced again because my previous divorce took 2 years, as he did not give me a divorce, and I had to force him to divorce,
Yes,
to give
it
me a
was a
divorce.
lengthy process, which
It was a
obviously
very
hindered
hectic
a lot of things.
process,
Yes.
and I was always in fear. Oh, I was never thinking, okay, this marriage will work. Don't worry. I always thought, no, I don't need another divorce.
Yes.
So we decided to move in together because my son was always saying, "Mom, I want a brother or a sister, please." And I was so successful at that time. I didn't even want a husband or a brother or another child, and to give him any siblings. But he kept on crying for another brother or sister. So I said to myself, okay, maybe try. And I met the client who was a businessman and we decided to move in together. And we had a beautiful life. We traveled the whole of Europe. Every month and a half, we used to travel to another country. We had a beautiful home. We had expensive cars. We traveled all over Europe. I mean, this month was Rome. The next month was Venice. And then it was Turkey, Bulgaria. And we kept on traveling.
So at that point, the Lord has restored your heart. So you were ready to, start again and trying to
Yes.
trust men again and
I did trust
within
him.
love. Okay.
He wasn't abusive at all. He was very loving, very caring. He was South American, not Bulgarian. So I thought to myself, wow, his blood is so warm. His heart is so warm. I feel so special. Anything I wanted, I got. And at the same time, at home, everything was beautiful. And in my business, it was perfect because he had all the media hotels. I was succeeding in the business wise as well with him. So everything was beautiful. Everything was perfect. I didn't have any worries, any problems. And a few months down the line, we decided to try for a baby. And normally, I don't have any problems with that. So we tried a few months, and it's not happening for us. So what he did was like, let me check just in case if everything is okay. I'm sure you're okay. And I'm like, yeah, I am okay because I've checked
already
before
had a
that.
child,
Yeah.
yes.
So he checked and they said, oh, you need to come back. And so we went back and they said, we found cancer. And we were in shock because he's very healthy. How did it happen? It's like, how is this happening? And I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, I only got married to have another child. What's going to happen now? It was very selfish of me.
Yes.
But this is all I can think of. And at the same time, I burst out in tears because I didn't want to lose him.
Yes.
And they said to us, we need to operate and remove the cancer.